actually check their paperwork, yes or no?
Well, at the end of the day, again, yeah, you can video as much as you want. The reality is we're having discussions with the team, as you can clearly see. Okay, but with regards to answering questions about what I've seen and what I haven't seen, you understand I'm going to decline that, because obviously it's not your right. You know what I mean?
That's your right to decline.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. But obviously, you know, at the end of the day, this doesn't affect yourselves. It affects the people down there, and they're the people obviously we should be important.
I just want to make it aware to you that I will be independent today, just archiving what's going on. And if anything unlawful is happening, I will release it to the relevant body.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I'd appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right then. All right, guys.
Can you tell me the purpose of your job?
Just here for an animal welfare role.
Is animal welfare at risk, do you think?
We don't know, we just come for all eventualities.
Right. Have you had a tip-off or any information to lead you to believe that there might be animal welfare at stake? How did you get to know about this then?
Through our company contacts.
Company contacts? What company do you work for, if you don't mind me asking? It's on the side of the land.
If that is released, with regards to, if that is released, yeah, with regards to the register, what do you do with regards to blanking out registration plates?
Sorry?
Do you do anything with regards to?
Is it a police vehicle?
No. It's a private vehicle.
Well, because it's in, you know, public highway.
I know, but we've also got to have the consideration for other people as well.
If you want to request certain vehicles to be blanked out, please point them out to me, and I'll do that.
Well, I'd suggest just the vehicles on here. I mean, clearly you can see what that is anyway. It's got the logo on the side, and you know ours are quite easily identifiable.
So you want this particular one?
Well, yeah, because just at the end of the day, you know, these are individuals' vehicles, and I don't think you would appreciate it. Your vehicles get posted on YouTube or something like this, that, and the other, you know. Yeah,
I mean, obviously they've got a job to do.
They have, but at the end of the day, I've also got to be conscious. We need you and I, need to be sensible about it. The last thing we want to do is bring these people further hassle or anything like that. Okay?
Well, that's not for my judgment call. I'm just documenting what's going on.
If you put it out,
yes,
then you have there's an accountability, isn't there?
Is there? Who for, sir? Who's the accountability for?
Well, I think
myself. Are you saying myself?
Well, I'm not getting in an argument because that's what you're wanting, right?
No,
the reality is, I just think we need to use some common sense. All right.
I phoned you. You were busy on the phone.
Sir, do you have a job here to do today?
I do, yes.
Can you tell me what the job is?
To enforce the court order.
Court order?
Yeah.
Are you aware of what they're going to say to you when you actually get up there? They're going to ask to see the paperwork. Do you know that? Are you willing to show them the paperwork? Are you from Redstone? Where are you from? Oh. From the courts?
Your number is given us. But he is on the mobile because it's from today. Right.
Did you come on the first attempt to evict them?
No.
No. Do you know who did? Do you know Mr. Chadwick?
I know.
Sorry?
You're police liaising at the moment, aren't you? You're liaising...
Yes.
Yeah. Have you liaised with the people at the top there? I'm just wondering if you're showing impartiality by doing it just here. You know, have you spoken to the people at the top?
We've spoken to a couple of people who came to the police station earlier on. I think representatives from the house down there, but as yet no. We've just arrived at the scene and speak to the people here.
Will you be speaking to them as a group, as a whole?
For that answer, you'll have to speak to my sergeant over there, who'll inform you of that, because he's the one who's making the decisions today as to what we're going to do.
And with regards to you three yourselves, are you here to do a job today?
That's what I'm employed to do.
What's that?
Carry out the judge's warrant.
The judge's warrant? Are you all three from the court?
We are.
Will you be liaising with the people up there before anything happens?
Yeah.
You will be, will you?
Yeah, I'll be speaking to them, yeah. Could have got more sheltered position, could we not?
What is it you're actually doing here today?
Reporting a crime that's taken place.
Right, let's take some details about the incident. So is it
T. Crawford?
Oh, address?
Yeah.
3 Fern Chase. F-E-A-R-N.
Yeah.
Chase.
Chase.
C-H-A-S-E.
Yes.
And that's Carlton.
Where, sorry?
Carlton. C-A-R-L-T-O-N. That's
Mate,
Nottingham.
I'm in a meeting.
right?
And I'll have to sort the transport out after that.
Did you have postcode?
Yes, NG4.
Not interested, is he?
1DN.
He said he were coming this morning and he never even turned up.
Will you be liaising with the people up there before anything happens?
Yeah.
You will be, will you?
Yeah, I'll be speaking to them, yeah.
And the N.
N, that's it.
Would you have a contact telephone number?
778.
Who am I speaking to? Well, obviously, I'm going to speak.
Yeah, I'll speak to you.
And who are you, please?
My name's Crawford. I'm the one that...
Okay, and you're linked, Mr. Crawford, to the people at the houses?
I'm there to support them.
Okay, right. Well, the reality is that at this moment in time, okay, there is ongoing legal processes. You're fully aware of this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And in respect to obviously Mrs. Craggs and Mr. Rand, okay?
Yes.
Then the discussions I'll have is with them, if it's in respect to that, okay? No, I'm sorry. At the end of the day, you might be supporting them, but the reality is...
Are you saying only a family can only...
No, well, at the end of the day...
This is a crime, and I'm reporting this crime.
Right, okay. And it's been logged.
And you're giving us an incident number?
Yeah, I'll put that on that number,
That's fine.
okay?
As long
But
as
with
you've got
regards to obviously anything else...
Can I have
I'll
a
speak
copy
to
of that, please, as well?
Yeah, sure, can you run a copy of it?
Yeah.
With regards to anything else, I'm presuming is everybody here? With regards to obviously, there's an ongoing process,
yes,
a legal
we realise
process.
that, yeah.
You're fully aware of that. At the end of the day, our whole role and purpose was there to prevent the breach of the peace.
Correct. That's
okay.
Right. That's all we need. Every.
That's all we were there for, Mr. Crawford.
Right.
Nothing other than that. So the reality is, depending on how this legal process goes on, okay, it may mean that the bailiffs attend at another point in time. You know the full what's going on with regard to. If that is the case, they're well within their grounds to ask for our assistance to come down to just prevent obviously any problems.
Correct. Yes.
Likewise,
we
the
could
flip
do
side
exactly
of
the
the
same.
coin, exactly. Of course you can. But obviously you understand. I'm not prepared to obviously divulge and go into certain.
No. We're not asking that.
It's not appropriate because at the end of the day, the individuals involved aren't even here.
Yeah. No, it's us reporting the crime on their behalf just now, and we're witness. I've seen the documents,
right.
And I know they're not real documents. They're fraudulent.
Well, I mean, I can.
I know you officers end up in the middle all the time.
Indeed, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're now having officers arrested for assisting bailiffs. There's 7 in Manchester. There's 2 down in Hereford. It's going on everywhere because they're acting on these documents. We don't want you. We're both on the same side. Okay. We don't want fraud.
I mean, as I've explained, I explained to Chad this morning, and the lady there, it is sad. You know what I mean? And we acknowledge that because we're all human beings, we're all homeowners. We acknowledge it's a sad state of affairs, but you've got to also understand that if an order is there and a judge gives that order, then our realms is A, to prevent a breach of the peace, and also if that order enforces police officers potentially to assist in that and assist the court bailiffs, then obviously that again we're legally bound to obviously try and assist in that.
You've been misled. You've been misled by the bailiffs. Right. Number 1, the writs that they use, 66 or an EX96, aren't lawfully used because you cannot use force under any circumstances. But they've been doing that. Oh, that's lovely. They've been doing that up and down. We're actually assisting some police officers that's been evicted as well. So it's not us against you.
But you understand, irrespective, we're looking at the particular problem down at Bridge Street today, and outside of that, okay, we can only go on and react on what we're informed and what we're told of. Okay, our primary focus is to prevent the breach of the peace for both sides. Okay, and yes, we will always be there for that because that's what we're there. We are the police for that purpose.
Well, I spoke to 2 inspectors about a month ago and explained exactly how they've been misled, and they're taking it to their committees. You know, where they have you lads aren't privy to it, but they're taking it to them, and we're going to be instructing them where they're being misled by the courts and by the bailiffs, and you're getting your own officers in serious trouble because this is coming down the line.
Right. Well, maybe so, but obviously I'm not here to.
I know that.
Be talked and pulled into specifics of other things I've never even been involved with. All I've got to say is the information we have at this moment in time. I mean, the only thing I would suggest if you're the supporters or obviously the family, then clearly the best issue would be to try and make some contact with the agent or even the bailiffs.
The whole thing is, it's all been based.
But you understand
yeah,
that?
Yeah,
yeah. Because at the end of
the
the reality
day,
is if we can obviously, you know, if the wheels can be moved, then clearly we wouldn't be here, would we? This situation would never come about.
This is what's happening here is probably the biggest fraud that's been going on for years and years and years, decades.
But you
and it's only coming to...
Right, but you understand, Mr Crawford, if there's an allegation of a criminal act that's taken place, then realistically we need
to be investigated.
Well, no, well, yes, obviously it'll always be investigated, but in reality, I'm not just taking, because I don't know you, all right? I'm not just taking your word that this has gone on. I will need to speak to individuals involved, whether it be Craggs and Rand, and if that's the case, it will be investigated. Yeah. But you also understand, I can't just go through when you're just putting things in my hand and saying this is me and I'm a friend of theirs. You understand, yeah? If there is evidence to prove a criminal act has taken place, then clearly that will be looked at. And equally at the same time, through the
Your problem is you can't look at these documents and you can't make a legal judgment whether these documents are correct or bogus. So what's been happening is you've been taking sides actually, and you're saying yes, the bailiff's got the correct documents. Here it is.
I wouldn't say we're taking sides. The reality is we're there for the one role, and that role is to prevent, you know, people coming to any harm, irrespective to whose side it is, whether it be bailiffs or the protesters today down at the place.
I'm an anti-slavery advocate. Not the protester, not a supporter, I'm an anti-slavery advocate.
Irrespective, but obviously your welfare is the same as I've got welfare as the bailiffs. You understand that, yeah?
Okay, well these men and women want to put in their crime reports, and you can put the incident number on there, do a copy, and then there'll be more people coming up doing exactly.
But if you're going to link back in with the family...
Well, we're going back there now.
Okay, great. Well, again, if you could just emphasise...
I'll show them this.
You just emphasise to them at the end of the day that there is, you know, at the end of the day, the reality is that clearly, if a criminal complaint is being made, then we need to speak to them.
Correct.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And yes, we'll look at things, but we'll come to a point in time when we can't go any further. Because I've spoken to you.
If you actually need me or some of the colleagues to come up and explain to your inspector or your chief constable here, I'd be more than willing to come and show the fraud in the documents and give them the CPR rules that they're breaching, which is basically every time they break just one little thing. When they break these CPR rules, it then isn't a civil matter. It becomes an abuse of a process, a statutory process, or a statutory instrument. Then becomes a very serious common law.
But you've also got to understand is that this process has gone on for some period of time now, quite some time. And throughout that process, there have been a number of judges involved in the process. And I know through the past...
We've got one of them in court in a month.
Right, okay. Well, if that's the case, then obviously, you know, I don't know. The agents may turn around and say, well, we'll wait till the definitive answer comes from that, whatever. But all I know is that the due process, judicial process, has gone through many, many people's hands. This isn't just come to me as a sergeant. This has obviously been seen by many...
You assume it has?
Well, it has. It has. It's an impossibility for it to not get to this process without it being seen by a judge. You'd agree?
No. The trouble is, right?
I think so, yeah.
I always explain this to someone who doesn't understand the process. Just very simple. Just take you 2 minutes out of time. When they apply to take somebody's home, they have to fill in an application form.
Yeah.
They never do. And on that application form, they're supposed to state what the grievance is, the money value, and a statement of truth. They never ever, they simply request. They don't fill in this form. The next thing they do is, it'd be like getting an MOT, as I said. You'd ask from the garage, can I have a MOT? And they say, yeah, that's fine, that's a request. Now, that's going to cost you £45 for that MOT. Solicitors do not pay a fee to issue this anywhere in the court. So number one, they don't ask for it. Number two, they don't pay a fee. And that's from the public purse, stealing money out of the public purse. Number three, then the mechanic would say, oh yeah, everything's order. I'll stamp it with a seal, the embossed seal that we got, and I'll sign my work. You never get a proper seal on it, and you do not get a signature. Because you know that you arrest people with a signature.
Instead of being here talking to us, because realistically all we're there is to prevent the breach of the peace. No. I'm saying play devil's advocate here, right? Instead of talking to us, then have you spoken to the HM bailiffs?
They never turned up.
Well, have you spoken to them? Well,
they didn't speak to me on the phone.
Right, okay. But in fairness, I can understand that because it's got nothing to do with you.
But they didn't know who I was.
Yeah, but you understand, Mr. Crawford, yeah? It's not your home.
No.
At the end of the day, the reality is I would suggest then you put a phone call into the Newcastle bailiffs, I assume, would be there. I don't know.
Well, there's court, as you know, that's going on in court right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that the actual
all I'm saying is that that's the reality. I mean, what I have to say is that, you know, today we've come back to this police station. You know, we did have individuals down there wearing masks, videoing us, which is fair enough. Do what you want. You know, at the end of the day, I think. Yeah, but I think the reality is that sometimes, you know, that does confuse the situation as well. You
it's
know,
for our safety and yours that.
Well, that's fair enough. I'm not bothered about that. You can video as much as you want, but the reality is, I think sometimes the very people who are involved in this get drowned out and don't get heard.
No, they're totally.
And I don't think they get heard as much. And I think the reality is that clearly there's an ongoing issue here. You know, they need to be challenging this through the proper judicial process.
But the judicial process is on a fraudulent basis, that it never instigated through the court process properly.
Well,
and then
that's
been railroaded through. Now, if those families
but the reality down there
without
the
us
reality
there,
is that's going to be
reviewed. At
reviewed.
Their home today.
My understanding is there is potentially yes.
Yeah,
that's potentially.
Right. So it's only under common law we stood down there, okay, and those people purporting to be bailiffs didn't show up. I know they will claim it's health and safety. That's the first thing that they'll put down. It's not. If I've seen their documents, I would arrest them under common law for having a fraudulent document purporting to be an officer of the court. And I would ask you to assist me in it.
Well, that's up to obviously that. We'll cross that bridge. Hopefully we won't have to cross that bridge. But the reality is, you know, our argument will be is if there is a court order in place, and if that court order gives certain powers to the bailiffs, and obviously if the police officers are obviously named on that, then we will support their action.
But you can't use violence.
They will support their action.
You can't. You can use reasonable force. I've gone through this, but what do you call reasonable force? Well, that doesn't mean smashing it down a door.
No, but the reality is the reasonable is a subjective thing, isn't it? At the end of the day,
right.
But yes, reasonable force can be used if need be. I'm not saying it would need to be, and hopefully it
and
never would be.
Of course, force is a defensive mechanism, not an attacking mechanism.
Right. Well, I mean, we can go around and round this all day.
Red key.
We can go around this all day. All I would say is that, you know, for us, we're there to support both sides of this.
That's good.
To make sure.
So next time, come down and stand with us then, before the bailiffs come, and make sure that we get the documents. Give us the documents to see.
You know, that's at the end of the day. You know, the documents is something for the family needs to get possession of. You know, because the document is the main thing. What you're going to say, Mr. Crawford, we're not the middleman here. We're not like past this, because we get sucked into a situation we don't want to be involved in. Yeah. All right. The reality is what we're doing here is to prevent, obviously, people getting hurt, harm being given to other individuals, and this, that.
There'll be no violence down there.
Well, that's great.
Unfortunately, when you do come down, you stand with the bailiffs, and you didn't come down and speak to us at any point.
No.
So that makes it look like you are with the bailiffs.
Yeah. Well,
all we're saying is if you did, come down
in fairness,
hear our side.
In fairness, I've got no issues with it. All I've got to say is the reality is, you know what I mean. We spoke with them. There was only three of us today, which I know that there was aware of it.
Oh, 33.
Chad, how many was there? Let's be truth. Let's stop lying. How many officers? I can tell you now, there probably wasn't 33 cops in the whole of Durham. No, so don't say there's 33.
Right.
There was me and two others, right? So let's not get this blown out for what it is.
But I would suggest you go down and speak to the family. Okay, and don't stand with the bailiffs, because you are taking sides when you speak. Because it's these people are supposed to be bailiffs from a court.
What you've got to understand, Mr. Crawford, is I'm not going to go into a situation where there's how many people were down there today? There must have been 50. Quite a few. 50. I'm not going to go in and everybody telling me what I should and shouldn't be doing.
No, you'd meet somebody like yourself.
But all I'm saying is I'm not going to get that, and I've been there and done that before, and that's how a situation has a tendency of getting out of hand rapidly, because unfortunately there are going to be fringe people down there who just want a confrontation. You must agree with that. You've been there, you've probably
I've been there, but never seen it.
Exactly.
No, I've never seen it.
Right, okay, but you've been there.
But I have seen it on the other side.
All right then, right. But the reality is I'm not going to go into a situation where I've got 50 people telling me what I should be doing and this is wrong. The reality is we are there to obviously prevent it from obviously getting out of hand, getting silly, and God forbid people getting injured or anything like that. That's my primary role and nothing
Okay, but the other primary role is not to take sides and not to assist the bailiffs. Even if the court says you're allowed to assist the bailiffs, you are not allowed to use force whatever. No force can be used to remove a family, a man or a woman from their home.
Yeah. All I can say is, I mean, the issue is we've obviously logged what you've said. That is logged comments, and we'll document that appropriately.
82, so I can look up with this. 81. 81. Have to do.
Well, thanks for calling out then.
Likewise.
But
nice meeting you,
as
guys.
I say, we're all on the same side.
All right then. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Right then. Thanks ever so much. Watch out for the
you got
rain.
copies?
Yeah.
No, we're getting
They're
one
just
now.
doing it now.
Just doing it.
Right, guys. We'll speak. Well, might not.
No, but if you need us, we'll come.
We'll be there for you, don't worry.
Try a response.
Yeah.